If you're in your 30s, 40s, and even 50s, and you feel like life is getting pretty mechanical and transactional, this might be the most important video you watch. Maybe it's showing up as a nagging lack of energy and mental clarity. A lot of people are actually sensing this earlier in their lives. It feels like we're spending much of our time doing things that don't sustainably bring us a sense of fulfillment. And this is because many of us are going day to day feeling limited by our environment or limiting our own selves. The true multifaceted experience that life offers is not presenting itself to us. This has become very commonplace, especially after the pandemic. When we were in our 20s and 30s, we mostly relied on the adrenaline we got from doing stuff, meeting the obvious goals. But after the usual check boxes, schooling, career, marriage, house, family, it's usually edging towards our 40s and nowadays even our 50s that we start to call out our age because we observe the zest that's starting to evaporate and this sense of stagnancy that's settling in. The question now isn't how did all the time pass by and where did my energy go? The real question now is how did you arrive at this great point of awareness? And how are you going to take back control to do something about it? It's unfortunate that a lot of people are actually aware, but they don't do anything about it. And by the time you make this very keen observation, you may have sustained a very long period of unattended stress that edges towards burnout. So now you can't even see beyond the fog of despair and hopelessness. Or maybe it's just easier and safer. The very notion of changing things up ignites fear of the unknown. It's very dangerous when you decide to do that. It mostly leads to fleeting moments of distant joy and deeper crevices of sustained anguish from inaction. Neither of these beliefs are the actual problem. It's not that you're getting old. It's that you haven't learned to play with the currency of energy. It's that you haven't learned how to masterfully conserve and redirect your energy. So you have two choices. You can wait until you hit rock bottom and feel like there are no options for you, essentially giving up. And if you're now watching this, maybe you haven't given up. Or you can learn the cognitive skill of masterfully and repeatedly doing some simple things. I'll tell you about those simple things in just a moment. I'm Vishali, and this is why I created the Envaya movement. The Aura Experience is our flagship program. Throughout my 40s, I made huge strides in all of the spaces I cared about. I cared about parenting. I cared about youth development. I cared about leading global corporate teams. I cared about teaching yoga and meditation, mentoring other project managers, climbing mountains, to name just a few. And everyone asked me, how are you finding this time and energy? And my answer is, I learned how I waste energy, and then I got clear about what I cared about, and I learned to invest energy in that direction. Note, none of this is explained in the terms of time. Anyway, here are the two simple things that you can start doing to cognitively reclaim your energy. They are to manage your perception of your limited capacity or energy, and second, to invite change with agility and resilience. Now let's explore 3 reasons why you may want to learn how to do this now. The first, most basic reason is that by doing nothing, you will start to experience sustained stress from the internal conflict and the lack of alignment that comes with expending energy on things that you may not really value. Sustained stress will lead to burnout. Burnout can be caused by stress, but it's not the same thing. Recognize the two are very different. Burnout creeps up on you very slowly, and you may mistake it for stress. So stress can make you feel intermittently overwhelmed, but burnout actually makes you feel constantly depleted and used up. Both lead to conflict within ourselves and with others we care about. Both lead to physical and mental health challenges. So here's one of the things we do in our program. One of the first things you can do is change your relationship with stress from one of being victimized to one where you have ownership and control of your stress. You can think of stress as being something you proactively manage daily with specific structures, habits, and activities. And by doing this, you will gain control over the buildup or the overwhelm that causes your mental processing to become less and less effective. The second reason you can't just do nothing is just that. You will not do anything more than you are doing right now. And with time, you will probably down-talk yourself as others who live or work with you start to observe and point out and then plain outright judge you. Self-talk can self-construct, it can self-destruct. What we tell ourselves and what others are telling us about ourselves needs to be keenly managed. To overcome this, we teach how to step away from ourselves and listen to the stories that may have been imagined or imposed by others. We learn the difference. We must become aware of the patterns of possibility that we have steered away from time and time again as a result of other people's stories. And finally, here's a third reason why you don't want to sit there and do nothing. It's going to affect not just your current relationships, but even your ability to build and evolve new ones. Relationships, as you know, are the biggest form of energy exchange in our lives. So you want to make sure you master that. Many of us look very put together on the outside, but what you're feeling inside will predicate the choices and the decisions you make in your interplay with other people. In the workplace, this may look like not being able to display a collaborative or solution-focused mindset, whereby others will start to misjudge you to be unapproachable. In your personal relationships, the stakes get much higher with your loved ones who see the brunt of what is really affecting you. So this brings me to one of the first things we teach in the Aura experience. A deeply revealing self-awareness practice that opens your mind and heart to the whole multifaceted experience that life really has to offer versus the limited one that you are experiencing right now. This changes your disposition and the way you respond to all things around you. One of the best testimonials we got was from a single father in his 40s who is a technology professional. If he was here right now, this is what he would say to you, and I quote, "Now I see a calm, strong, confident young man who is striving for new heights and goals and ambitions he once thought were not possible. I feel very stable and rooted. It's probably the calm and comfortable feeling I've never really had with myself," unquote. What I love about that feedback is that now he lives with the abundance of 4 things: energy, emotional control, confidence, and courage. Wait, there's a 5th one: adventure. For someone who always kept his head down most of the time, he now speaks up and takes weeks in the year to go and work in other countries so that he can volunteer to help other people after his workday is done. This is the beauty of remote working. I think you can see that by managing your relationship with stress, gaining control over your self-talk, and building a self-awareness practice, you regain a sense of complete control over your direction and design of your own life. You can find the clarity, the energy, the vibrance that you might have thought vanished forever. My smart, successful clients and I are here to tell you that all of this is possible for you. So if you've listened to this and you understand now why doing nothing is not an option, I want to be the first to show you exactly how you can take action. All you have to do is now start talking about the change that you wish to design and make. Let's do that together at book.meetandvia.com. I promise you, it will get a lot easier after this.